Okay, so this is a game I played December 23rd, 2025 against B-Bills 14-17. I played as black, he played as white, and in this game I played the Caro-Kann, which starts with e4, c6, and as you can see here on the side of the analysis, it's the Caro-Kann defense, right? These are book moves according to chess.com, and it makes sense. So he moves d4, I then move d5, which is the Caro-Kann opening. He brings out his knight c3. I take his e-pawn. He takes my attacking pawn. I then attack his knight with the move bishop f5, and it's not really, I don't really care to attack his knight, but his knight is there. I like to put my bishop there on f5. And as you can see, this is a Caro-Kann defense classical variation. It's not a new opening. It's nothing new whatsoever. Completely known territory in the chess world. As you can see, my opponent's rating is 964. Mine is 1006. This is the rating that I got after beating this opponent. So then he moves his knight over to c5. I attack his knight. It's also a book move with b6. He moves his knight back to b3, and I close off. I connect my bishop with the move e6. It's just what I like to do, what I usually do. And as you can see, there we have a really nice square on d5 that I'd like to put a piece there at a later point, but we'll get to that. He brings out his bishop, attacking my bishop. I take automatically. Sometimes I'll put bishop on g6, allowing him to take, and I'll take with h7, therefore allowing me to have a free open file on with a rook, which is nice for the later game when I need to attack a flank with a rook or something of the sort. So I take, he develops his queen, I develop my knight to f6, which is, according to chess.com, an excellent move. He pins my knight with a bishop. I develop my other, just playing principle, develop my knight. He pulls out his knight. I attack his bishop. He moves it back, keeping the pin. And then I say, you know what, I don't want to, this is not a fight I want to have. Like, I don't want to be pinned the whole game. So I place my bishop on the same diagonal, and that does two things: protects my queen from being skewered, and if he were to move his knight to e5, attacking my other knight, I won't be protected. Anyway, my bishop, at this moment, that knight is quadruple protected. I'm not worried about it anymore. I should have taken. I wanted to take with a knight here, but I didn't. I was playing too fast. I played too fast. Oh, I mean, that was what, 9 seconds? This is a 15-minute, 10-second increment game, so I took with a bishop. That's fine. What do I have to take into this? Okay, so the best was to take with my knight, but I didn't do that, so. And so here, yeah, I remember. So here, I had the idea of putting my knight on the d5 square, and for that to happen, I wanted to make sure I couldn't get kicked out, and so I wanted to push this pawn here, the b pawn from b6 to b5. So what I did was I moved my a pawn, which is protected by my rook, first. He moves his rook to the e file. Okay, so this move does two things. It blocks off the c4 square here, and it gives room for my knight to land here, so then I can reroute it to the d5 square. So from d7 to b6 to d5, right? I still need to castle. He's already castled. We're on time. He has 12 minutes and 14 seconds. I have 14 minutes and 27 seconds. So I've restricted his pawn movements. He cannot kick me out. So I move my knight. The computer thinks I should have castled, but I move my knight. He moves his knight. Here, I was worried he was going to tempo me if he landed here. I wanted to just land here, protect this square, protect this square. It kind of neutralizes his knight, really. He can't go here because I take, which would have been a hassle because the rook was there. He can't go here, he can't go here, he can't go here. Yeah, so from there, he moves his queen. I finally get my knight onto d5. And it's a very strong piece. It's centralized knight on d5. Obviously, it's not the best, but it's a really good square. What is the excellent? So, according to the computer, castling would have been the move. So he takes. He does a Hail Mary, takes my knight. So we're getting into the middle game here. He takes my knight and takes my pawn with his knight, sacrificing his knight. Very bold. But as you can see here, if I take, he's gonna have this spot, right? So he has that spot now, and that's the best move. I did not castle. So he's targeting this. He's targeting this. I don't want him to take this, so I'm not gonna take with my queen. I'm not gonna take with my queen. I'm not gonna take with my queen. But I can block with my bishop, or I could block with my knight. I think I decided to block with my bishop here, which is a terrible move. What the computer wanted me to do was just sidestep, right? Just wants me to sidestep. But I do this. He then moves his queen back here, checking me. I then move my king here, which is another terrible move. He wanted me to sidestep that way. And he then attacks me with a knight. I move. Computer says it's a great move. I'm just walking away. And then he again checks me with a queen. Now, so he went from a plus 3.1 to a 0.7 to now a 1.5 advantage for me. He moves his knight to somewhere to g6. I protect. This is the best move according to the computer. I protect my bishop. So my bishop is triple protected. I'm not worried. He takes. I take with a rook because it's double protected. So if he were to take here, I take with a queen, and then I take. So he's gonna have one rook and a knight. At this point, I have a 3.1 lead. But as you can see the time here, he's got 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and I've got 12 minutes and 58 seconds. So he moves his queen, and he has clear sight of my pawn, which is kind of annoying. I double up my rooks. He takes the rook. I take a rook. He moves his h-pawn. I attack his queen. Here, I'm looking. I'm seeking the way through. I don't know the way through. He moves his queen. I move my knight back. He moves his queen back. I move my queen. He moves his king to a really good square. Really annoying square. Really annoying square. I then move my queen there. Again, I'm not sure what I'm doing here because I'm seeking, I'm looking. He moves his rook there. I move my knight to attack his queen. He moves his queen. I move my queen. I'm kind of hoping he'll take, and I'm also looking at this pawn. He protects that pawn adequately. I take, and he takes with the king. As you can see, his time is 1 minute, and I have 12 minutes and 44 seconds. From here, we're in move 34, and there's 63 moves. I check his king. He moves. I try to take his queen. He doesn't want to trade queens. Here I made a mistake. I had to go to B1 instead of D3. But I went D3. He does the right thing. He moves from F1 to G1. I move my knight back. He checks me. I don't know why he didn't take this the G pawn. That's a double attack on me. I come back. He checks me. I cover with a knight. He finally takes my pawn. I take his pawn. And here he made a huge blunder. This was the game, the chain. This is what won me the game, really. He moves his pawn, and he gives me his queen. He takes my pawn, and here it's just, we just trade off pawns. I mean, he just gives me all the pawns. And I toy with him a little bit at the end. I make 3 queens just for fun and win the game. According to the game review, I had 85% accuracy. He had 78.9. And I had a rating. I played with a rating of 1650, and he played with a rating of 1300. Very good game. What I really liked, I think, was my thinking here. My thinking in move 13, when I created that little structure with my A through C pawns to fit my knight onto the D5 square, taking the square away from his C4, from a potential C pawn push to C4. I think that was pivotal in this game for me. I think I could have won the game even if he didn't give me his queen. I think I had what it took, but I think that was for me. I think, in my opinion, that was a really important aspect of this game. I'm a beginner at chess, and so a professional might say that was completely wrong, but I had fun. I felt like it was impressive, but anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next month. Peace.